Matson celebrating 25 years of commitment to Guam, Micronesia, and the CNMI. Cars Plus, home of Guam's first and only lifetime powertrain warranty. Visit carsplusguam.com for details. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it, and King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Now on Primetime, oral arguments were heard in the U.S. Supreme Court relative to the closure of the old Ordat dump. Nestor Lecanto has the very latest. Plus, we'll give you an update on efforts to contact and test those who may have been exposed to recent clusters of positive coronavirus cases. And KUAM's Isaiah Uggan heads up to Jigo for that village's vaccination clinic.
Hafidang, good evening. I'm Adriana Cotero. The U.S. Supreme Court heard oral arguments today in Guam's case to force the Navy to pay its fair share of the $160 million cost to close the old Ordat dump. The High Court accepts just a small fraction of cases each year, and all of the justices had questions during the one-hour hearing. Nestor Lecanto reports.
Guam is appealing a lower court decision as it continues to argue that the Navy, which built and used the Ordat dump after the war and then turned it over to GovGuam, bears some responsibility for its cleanup. GovGuam was forced to finally close Ordat and build the Luzon landfill after it was sued by the U.S. EPA for violating the Clean Water Act because of toxic leachate. Justice Samuel Alito summarized the case in a question to the U.S. government attorney.
Guam's argument, in very simple terms, is basically this. We're a small island, and the only reason, and while we may have contributed to part of the problem with this dump, the Navy contributed quite a bit too. But in any event, all of this, the respective liability of Guam and the United States should be adjudicated under CERCLA, where the United States could bear some of the costs. But the United States has cleverly proceeded against us under the Clean Water Act for the purpose of avoiding that. Do you have an answer to that?
CERCLA is a wide-ranging environmental waste cleanup law passed in 1980, also known as the Superfund Law. Attorney Vivek Suri, assistant to the Solicitor General, responded.
EPA had legitimate reasons in 1988 for deciding not to proceed under CERCLA. By that time, the Clean Water Act process had already been underway for a couple of years, and EPA explained how the Clean Water Act procedure would, as it were, kill two birds with one stone. It would solve both the CERCLA problem and the Clean Water Act problem.
GovGuam counsel Gregory Garr, a former U.S. Solicitor General, responded.
The bottom line is that the United States wants to have its cake and eat it too. It sued Guam under the Clean Water Act in order to insulate itself from liability for its own role at the Ordat dump, allegations that must be accepted as true, and now it wants to block Guam's actions to recover a portion of its cleanup costs by saying that the parties' settlement of the Clean Water Act claim somehow barred a CERCLA contribution claim. There's no basis in CERCLA, the common law of contribution, or anything else the government relied upon in its brief or today at oral argument to allow the United States to get away with that ploy here.
The High Court has taken the matter under advisement. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Meanwhile, it's hard to predict how the Supreme Court will rule, but Attorney General Levin Camacho is confident about Guam's case. He says the justices seem to hone in on two things.
On the one hand, we have to concede that we entered into a consent decree with the federal government to clean up Ordat dump. But on the other hand, as we pointed out in argument very artfully, this was a very deliberate decision by the federal government to sue Guam under the Clean Water Act because you can't get contribution from other parties under the Clean Water Act. So they knew and they intentionally chose to pursue a case against Guam under a statute where we could not bring in the Navy to pay its fair share of cleaning up the Ordat dump.
Camacho also credited a bipartisan group of more than 24 fellow attorneys general led by CNMI AG Edward Manabuson for their amicus or supporting brief. He says the justices were clearly swayed by that. Camacho expects the High Court will issue its opinion no later than June. A grand jury indictment charges Matthew Manabuson with 2 counts of murder as a first-degree felony and 1 count of aggravated assault as a second-degree felony. All charges with a special allegation for the possession or use of a deadly weapon in the commission of a felony. Manabuson is accused for the fatal shooting of Joshua Menno. Menno's lifeless body was found along Swamp Road on April 15th. In court documents, Manabuson claimed self-defense, stating that he shot Menno because he was allegedly brandishing a machete and struck his cousin. In addition, Manabuson faces possession of a firearm without a firearms ID as a third-degree felony. His arraignment was set for April 28th. The latest on the medical abortion lawsuit, District Court Judge Heather Kennedy recommends the plaintiff's motion for preliminary injunction be denied. The court finds that the plaintiffs have not sufficiently shown that the Guam's law requiring certain information be provided in person burdens a woman's constitutional right to an abortion. Oral arguments were heard last month in which 2 Hawaii OBGYNs are challenging the law in order to remotely supply medication abortions to patients on Guam through telemedicine. The doctors argued the in-person requirement imposes a significant burden on the practice of mailing abortion prescriptions. However, the court did not agree. Documents state, quote, while the health benefits are minimal, the court cannot say the burdens as set forth on this record outweigh Guam's interest in promoting fetal life, unquote. The recently identified clusters are similar to past clusters that led to COVID-19 outbreaks back in August. But the significant difference? The vaccine. It's been 5 days since the announcement of the new clusters, and the Governor's Physicians Advisory Group and Public Health remain confident that we will contain the spread and reach the path to half goal before May 1st.
We don't have a big outbreak like we have back in August. That's a huge difference just because of the vaccination.
The vaccine and testing across the island. From the Northern Public Health Clinic to drive-through testing at the Tsubaki Tower and Tizen Old Carnival Grounds and over at private clinics. It's been all hands on deck to test the potentially exposed people linked to the 2 COVID-19 clusters. Dr. Hao Nguyen with the Governor's Physicians Advisory Group says we aren't out of the woods just yet, and they will have a better idea by next week.
And so far, the number is not big. Yesterday, I think we have 0. So, we tracked down a lot of people. So far, so good. Hospital admissions still at 3. So, like I said, it's a huge relief for us. And also, the governor and public health went out there really at the beginning. So we want to do contact tracing and people respond. So it went very well.
Dr. Nguyen is hopeful this response will be maintained for future clusters, as he also noted that over 60,000 people on island have been vaccinated, meaning that we anticipate reaching half the island population fully vaccinated before the May 1st goal date to reopen the island for tourism. Guam is currently at a moderate risk level 2 by the CDC. However, DPHSS PIO Janela Carrera feels confident we will contain the exposures from the 2 clusters.
Right now, I think what we're doing, especially with offering the COVID-19 testing for the 2 cluster cases, we've already done 693 tests, and then we also have testing today in Tizen. And we have a robust contact tracing and contact investigation team. So I think we're very confident in our ability to do contact tracing for the 2 clusters.
According to Carrera, the CDC calculates each jurisdiction's risk level through a formula that follows incidence rates, which is the cumulative cases over a 28-day period per 100,000. Currently at a level 2, Guam's incidence rate is between 50 to 50 cumulative cases. And the next step in order to upgrade to a low-risk level 1 would be having less than 5 cases per 100,000.
If we can, continue to remain vigilant and, work together as a community to bring that incidence rate of COVID-19 down, maybe we can meet that criteria in the next round.
Carrera doesn't believe our current risk level will affect the reopening of our prime industry.
I think the fact that we were able to go from a level 4 to a level 3 to a level 2 says a lot about our efforts to reopening tourism.
And Dr. Nguyen tells KUAM the island can expect new quarantine guidelines to be announced, as the PAG has already provided the governor with their recommendations. Public Health's free community COVID testing site at the Old Carnival Grounds in Tizen was scheduled to begin at 9 a.m. But according to personnel, residents began lining up as early as 7 a.m. Tyler Matanani reports.
The COVID testing site in Tidzin was part of public health's effort to identify potential COVID cases from those that were at the Tsubaki Tower between April 14th to the 18th. The Tumon Hotel was recently linked to a cluster of COVID-positive cases in which 84 other employees and some 961 customers were possibly exposed to the virus. Alcida Mesiap is a contracted worker at Tsubaki Tower. She recalls the day she got the call from her boss of the potential exposure.
That day I was off, but my boss called me up and asked me if I know what's going on with Tsubaki. So I asked him, and he said they found two employees were get COVID.
She expressed that she was a bit worried to return to work and was also scared to get swabbed because her previous experience wasn't pleasant.
How was it when they swabbed you?
It's okay, not like before. You know, the one I get from Tamuning, it's really hot inside my nose, but this one is okay. They say I already done once, but they say I have to take it again because if I don't get it, then they won't call me back to work.
Rodelio Capati, another tourism industry worker, explains why he lined up to get swabbed.
At the hotel, they just call us to work for a few hours, so I just want to make sure.
Capati is already a part of the vaccination and encourages those who may be afraid to get their shots to do so for the good of the island.
They should do the vaccine because of this pandemic, because this vaccine is only for protection for us.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Tyler Matanani.
In efforts to get the island to reach herd immunity by Liberation Day, Public Health held another village-based vaccination clinic at the Jigo Gym. KUAM's Isaiah Uggan has more.
The vaccination clinic began at 9 a.m. at the Village Gymnasium, and we spoke with some island residents who participated in the initiative by getting the COVID-19 shot. Jigo resident Cecilia Carrion, who received her second dose of the Pfizer vaccine, explained why she got vaccinated.
Well, I want to protect myself from this COVID-19. And, I've been locked down for so long at the house, so that's why I'm out here to get the shot.
She added that she is feeling good now that she's fully vaccinated against the coronavirus. Carrion also encourages island residents to get vaccinated.
Because they want to go out and, some of them, they don't want to wear masks. So it's better if they do that. Okay. That way they'll be safe.
Trisha Palomo, who is a Dedido resident, also got her second dose of the Pfizer vaccine. The 44-year-old also shares the same sentiment as Carrie-Ann.
Yes. Well, I was told that getting vaccinated, you would still catch COVID, but it'll protect you from being hospitalized.
She explained why she got vaccinated.
Well, because I have medical issues and just making sure that we're protected.
Appointments are still available for free COVID-19 vaccinations at the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse tomorrow through Saturday, May 1st from 11 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. You can book an appointment online via Eventbrite. Reporting for Guam's News Network, Guahusi Isaiah Uggan.
Guam Police Department officers are calling up the Department of Corrections Deputy Director Robert Camacho to make complaints on nonviolent offenders continuing to be booked and released. According to DOC spokesperson Major Antone Uggan, the prison's management is getting some heat as they have yet to lift this policy that was put in place during the pandemic.
I do know there were, whenever the, like for example, criminal trespass, resisting arrest, we didn't accept it. So some officers, of course, were upset. I believe they called the deputy about it. And, again, that was an offense that could be handled through a notice to appear.
Uggan says DOC is still trying to be cautious with how many people enter the prison in order to minimize contact within the limited space. During the onset of the prison's COVID outbreak, the policy was enforced to only accept violent offenders. However, Uggan says for the month of April, the Agana Detention Facility did not turn anyone away. Rescue units from the Guam Fire Department were busy earlier today responding to a pair of incidents involving hikers. The first call came at almost 8:45 a.m., a report of a missing hiker, a male in his 60s, possibly in the San Carlos Trails area. Units located the man in the Darrow Road area at 10:30 a.m. Medics transported him to the Guam Memorial Hospital shortly after. Then right before noon, 911 received a call of an injured female hiker in her 40s at the Seti Bay area. The injured hiker was located by GFD rescue units and was transported to the Naval Hospital at 1:42 p.m. Stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
While we've all been through a lot over the years, typhoons, earthquakes, and now COVID-19, we've been able to get through these together.
For more than 80 years, Travelers Insurance has been protecting your homes, your businesses,
And the health of your family.
We are here today and we'll be here tomorrow.
There are better days ahead. Tomorrow's a new day filled with hope and choices.
The possibilities of what we can achieve together are limitless.
Let's continue to work together to ensure a brighter tomorrow for all of us.
The thing about freedom is, freedom has no limits. There's no such thing as too many adventures or too many unforgettable moments. There will never be too many stories to write or too many memories to make. But when it comes to a vehicle that will be there for it all, there's only one. Jeep.
We get it. Living to the fullest is tough during COVID-19. You don't need to do it alone, and everyone needs a hand right now. We are here. Feeling overwhelmed? Call 647-8833 and let's talk. Mangagihem is a project of Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center.
With Prism Home Wi-Fi, I'm not just getting smart Wi-Fi that adapts and delivers consistent speeds that cater to my lifestyle needs. I'm getting peace of mind with real-time online security that monitors every device on my network. Parental controls with the ability to filter age-appropriate content for my child. And with HomePass, I have full control over my network and so much more. Experience Wi-Fi and beyond with Prism Home Wi-Fi, powered by Plume HomePass from GTA.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Welcome back. Senators recess session after less than an hour today. They will reconvene Wednesday morning for state funeral services for 10-term Senator and former Speaker Joe San Augustine. Lawmakers did take brief action today by moving a resolution by Vice Speaker Talina Nelson to the voting file. It calls for supporting a House bill by Congressman Gregorio Khalili Sablan of the CNMI that lifts the cap on Medicaid reimbursement for the territories. Guam is currently capped at 55%, just 5% above the minimum.
Over 40,000 residents from Guam have benefited from Medicaid in 2021. Without increased federal funding, our uninsured population will continue to struggle to acquire adequate and affordable care, and our hospital will continue to face financial hardship.
Delegate Sablan's bill also seeks to change the long-standing formula for Medicaid assistance so funding will be increased for the territories. The measure was introduced in January but is still awaiting a hearing. The administration department is one step closer to getting a much-needed new financial management information system. A request for proposals now under review by the Attorney General's office. DOA Director Edward Burns says the current MIS is badly in need of an upgrade.
The difficulty we have is that this is an old operating system. It isn't up to current standards. We have to match the Government Accounting Standards Board standards. It isn't up to those standards. It doesn't have a graphical interface. It's very difficult to get information into it, and more difficult to get information out of it.
Burns says DOA has needed a new system for many years, but in the past, GovGuam simply did not set aside the money for it. Now they're hoping to tap into the American Rescue Plan for the funding.
Had there been funding, I'm sure someone would have replaced it in the past with a more up-to-date system. We are now faced with having to do it on a more urgent basis. This is particularly true because we've got so many more transactions going through the system because of all the federal funding, which is obviously a good thing. We want to have all this federal funding, but we have to account for it accurately and quickly, and that's become more and more difficult under the existing system, for which it just wasn't designed.
The new system will likely cost in the millions. Byrne wouldn't speculate on a potential price tag, but did say he hopes to get a new system in place by the end of the current fiscal year. A new motor vehicle registration division is now open at the Public Works compound in Upper Tumon. Rev and Tax Director Daphne Shimizu provides an on-site tour of the new location.
Of course, since we opened up in January, this is the first time that we could actually do this Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. We've only been doing vehicle registration services on Thursdays and Fridays as walk-ins. So we're very happy that here at DPW Building B, our vehicle registration branch is going to be able to service you from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. And that, again, is something that we have been working on. The opposite of that is, of course, up at Barrigada, we're able to service our driver's license customers Monday through Friday, 8 to 5.
Social distancing procedures are still in effect, and special accommodations will be available for Manapku and veterans. A new place to get a bite with family and friends was set to open today at the Micronesia Mall, but was postponed until later this week. Several mall patrons and KUAM were told that Raising Cane's would not be opening as scheduled due to a delay in shipment of some menu items and incomplete interior construction. Area Manager Jean Kin apologized for the inconvenience and further said that we can expect the restaurant, known for its chicken fingers, to open by this weekend, Saturday, May 1st. Later, our Sustainability Matters series continues. Keep it here.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas.
Half a day. As we look ahead to a brighter tomorrow, Matson's commitment to Guam and Micronesia remains stronger than ever. While the world around us is ever changing, what remains unchanged is our commitment to you, our customers, and the island communities we serve. Shipping is what we do best, and serving our community is at the heart of everything we do. But we don't do it alone. This is why we support organizations that make caring for the people and the environment a top priority. We know that many count on Matson's lifeline services in the Pacific, and that's why we continue to work hard to ensure that our shipments remain on time all the time. Matson recently added another Aloha-class vessel to our schedule. We now have two of Matson's largest and fastest ships serving Guam from the U.S. West Coast and Hawaii. With our new state-of-the-art vessels, we stand ready to support the region's economic recovery. Thank you for the privilege of serving you for the last 25 years, and you can count on Matson to be here for the next 25 years and beyond.
We've made a lot of breakfasts, and along the way, we noticed something was missing. A warm cinnamon roll for breakfast, or with breakfast. A fluffy blueberry muffin from the drive-thru you're already driving through. A glazed apple fritter, which might find its way into your coffee. These are options every breakfast haver should have, and now they do. Meet the new bakery sweets at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. The East High School Basketball League will be starting next week. Tonight on the show, we give you some information on the preseason basketball tournament that's going to be taking place at FD. Check it out. The McDonald's preseason high school basketball tournament tips off tomorrow at the Jungle in Mangilao. 9 teams in both the boys and girls divisions will hit the court with safety protocols to be enforced.
I'm just excited to be able to host this the tournament, especially with McDonald's being on board, just to get the kids, the youth back out on the basketball court. And, you know, it's going to be fun. It's going to be the first kind of live event that, at least for basketball in a long time. That's exciting. And just to see the kids come out and kind of see who, you know, who's on top, who's gotten better. It's going to be a short season, so the more games the kids could get, just the better for everybody.
The first game of the tournament will start tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. There will be a max of 50 spectators allowed to watch each game. After every game, the gym will be cleared out and sanitized before another new set of 50 spectators will be allowed back in.
The brand McDonald's, it's synonymous with the sport of basketball, so we're extremely grateful that McDonald's of Guam has come in, shown their support to the basketball community, and really kick-starting high school basketball again after a 14-month hiatus. So when you look at the talent of basketball over the last 3-4 years, it's grown exponentially, and we have some big names coming out. Some of the top players on the island will be representing in this tournament, so both on the boys and girls side, so fans could really expect exciting basketball, and these kids are ready to go.
In June, McDonald's of Guam celebrates 50 years on island. The business is excited to have events for the community and supports our youth athletes.
McDonald's of Guam has been, collaboration with sports in the past, but now with this collaboration with Guam Elite Basketball and Clutch Guam, we're really excited to bring this preseason tournament to get, kids excited again and active again after, like you said, it's a 14-month hiatus. So we want to give little kids role models, because they can see their, their high school age, role models. They can show that I want to do that when I grow up. So I want to be like Mike, kind of thing, right? But they can see their role models here locally on island.
McDonald's has always been a family-oriented establishment around the world. Joe Adzuzu, vice president of McDonald's of Guam in Saipan, says parents and kids can come to the restaurant to have memorable moments with each other after games.
We're very excited about the partnership. We think that there's a lot of potential with these kids, and we want to see them develop and grow and to achieve a lot, more, and to really represent themselves, represent the islands, and achieve really as much as they can. So again, the community has provided so much for us, so much to McDonald's, and this is part of our way of giving back, is partnering with groups such as Guam Elite, who have a great vision and mission for the community, and this is our way to support. We're very happy, we're very excited, and good luck to all the competitors, and we look forward to it.
Well, there's going to be a total of 10 teams now. The St. Paul Warriors are joining in on the tournament. Well, that's going to do it for sports. We're back right after this.
The closure of Dededo and Harmon Branch really is bittersweet.
I get a little sentimental, and just because I come from an era where, a brick and mortar is a symbol.
COVID-19 has forced us, I think, to make a lot of changes to how we operate.
But I think the upside to that is it's just a brief pause, and we'll be back.
Our guiding star has always been the vision of our founder, which is to be the driving force for prosperity in the communities that we serve. But we also know that we need to bring that forward in a way that is relevant for the age that we're living in.
I feel that all these new things coming are a big indicator that we're here for you. We're here for our customers, our familia, and we're here to grow and learn every step of the way with you.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
We don't want to overhype the return of the quesalupa from Taco Bell, so we're skipping all the fanfare.
Oh, man.
We'll just tell you, the quesalupa's cheese stuffed shell is back, and we think you'll like it.
We continue our 5-part series, Sustainability Matters. All week long, we'll be featuring businesses, groups, and families doing their part to live sustainability, encourage sustainable practices, and make Guam a better place to live. Joan Ugancharfaras heads up to Jigo to see how one family is using aquaculture and hydroponics.
Sustainability Matters, in partnership with the University of Guam Center for Island Sustainability and Guam Green Growth, presented by Green Energy Solutions, Inc.
give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach him how to fish and feed him for a lifetime. That is the best way to describe Greg and Policia Shocker's approach to their mini aquaponics system that they set up in their home in Jigo. It was an idea that they had back in May of 2020. It all started one day with them drawing up plans and doing research.
In June, we actually reached out to Dr. Gong at the University of Guam. Never knew there was an aquaponics department down there, so it was really intriguing to find out that there was actually some kind of resource.
Greg said that he and his dad always wanted to start up a tilapia farm and integrate aquaculture and hydroponics.
Awesome things to grow that are real easy: lettuce, kale, kangkung, and a really resilient fish is tilapia. The process of our system is real simple. The tilapia provides ammonia, which is turned from ammonia into nitrate, and then from nitrate into nitrate, which gives the proper vitamins and nutrients our plants need to survive. So it's really self-sustainable. We don't have to put too much work into it, just maintaining the water levels, pH levels, and of course feeding the fish.
And while their system is able to provide fresh veggies that their family can enjoy, the most important thing was that it provided an opportunity for all of them to work together.
It sounded like a fun project for us to do with our kids, because in the long run, it's some kind of skill to teach them. That way, no matter what, they'll be self-sustainable. Everyone was locked down at home. What are you going to do with all that time? Why not invest that time in our kids? You see a problem, and what's our solution towards it? What are we going to do to empower our kids so that when they reach these trials in their life, they're better suited?
And though the initial startup can be a little bit costly, Policia says in time it will be an investment that will keep returning.
The coolest thing about this aquaponics system is that you can set it up in very minimal space. Like, even if you don't have a huge 1 acre yard to utilize for planning, you can do it in the back of a balcony. I mean, your system may be a little bit smaller, but there'll still be enough for you to provide for your own family.
Sustainability Matters, in partnership with the University of Guam Center for Island Sustainability and Guam Green Growth, presented by Green Energy Solutions, Inc.
They add that if you want to learn more about aquaponics, reach out to the UOG Triton Farm, where they are generous with their knowledge. And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
Happy birthday on April 27th to Rihanna Opena. Happy birthday, Riri. Please enjoy your special day and may all your birthday wishes come true. This is coming from Grandma and Papa. Happy birthday number 12 to Amaya Nicole Kitazu. You make us proud every single day. Your kind and compassionate spirit reminds us of how very blessed we are to have you. God bless you on your day, and may all your wishes come true from Dad, Mom, Hannah, and Tori. Happy birthday 51 to Joe Kitatsu, to our dad of Chalampago. Thank you for being the best dad ever. Your patience, hard work, and love will never go unnoticed. We love you so much and wish you many more years of health and happiness. Love your girls, Hannah, Amaya, and Tori. And Adrian Tambora, happy birthday to you, and now that you're an adult, may your decisions in life be guided by our Lord. You are getting love from Mom and Dad. Speaking of Mom, my friends, celebrate Mother's Day with Cold Stone Creamery. They've got handcrafted premium ice cream cakes made fresh every day just for the mother in your life. So place your order for one today.
And that's going to do it for us here on Prime Time. Thank you for watching. Have a good night and be safe.
Howdy, everybody. I'm Sabrina Salas-Matanani. Welcome to Health, Home, and Lifestyle edition of KUAM News Extra. We kick it off with Health Check.
Health Check is presented by Island Cancer Center.
1 in every 10 people who got the first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine at SSM didn't come back for their second.
This seems to be in line with the state's average. About 10% of patients never come back for their second dose.
VP of Pharmacy Services, Mo Karbat, says there's a few reasons why people might be skipping the second dose. The first, a rare but severe allergic reaction, which he says would be a good reason to not come back. But if it's because of common side effects, he says you should still get dose number 2.
If the first dose bothered you, then you may take an acetaminophen or another medication to help with symptoms such as fever, headache, or pain.
At UW Health, Dr. Matt Anderson couldn't be specific, but said there's a very small number of people not returning for their second appointment.
Do we know if they're getting their second dose somewhere else? No, that's not really transparent and visible to us.
Anderson says no matter where you get it, it's important that you do.
The first dose gives you some level of protection. We don't know the duration of that protection. And we also know that the top level of protection comes after the second one.
If someone missed the second appointment simply because of timing, Anderson says it might not be too late to reschedule.
Ideally, you'd get it within that 6-week time frame, but if it goes beyond that, there's no recommendation right now to start the series over again.
While the first dose still has some protection, Karbat says it's just not enough.
After the first dose, our bodies develop a certain level of immunity, but it's not enough. So we need the second dose to boost the immune response 3 or 4 weeks later.
Stay tuned, Claire's next.
At Island Cancer Center, we treat our patients and their families like our family. We have all been touched by cancer, and it is important to feel comfortable and secure under the care of our health professionals. You can count on us for skilled cancer specialists, the most advanced cancer-fighting technology on the island, and a commitment to caring for you or your loved one with compassion, respect, and empathy. Our family, treating your family.
Island Cancer Center, located on Guam Medical Plaza. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 646-3363.
Mobile offers a new and convenient way to fuel your vehicle. Pay gas and go. No need to line up inside the store. Press preset. Enter whole dollar amount without decimals. Press Loyalty ID and enter your mobile number or insert Smiles card. Insert and remove payment card or tap contactless credit card. Begin fueling. And don't forget to grab your receipt. Pay gas and go. It's that easy.
With Prism Home Wi-Fi, I'm not just getting smart Wi-Fi that adapts and delivers consistent speeds that cater to my lifestyle needs. I'm getting peace of mind with real-time online security that monitors every device on my network. Parental controls with the ability to filter age-appropriate content for my child. And with Home Pass, I have full control over my network and so much more. Experience Wi-Fi and beyond with Prism Home Wi-Fi, powered by Plume Home Pass from GTA.
Off it, everybody. Welcome back to Health, Home, and Lifestyle edition of KUAM News Extra. Here's a new episode of Weekly Renewal.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo's Select Care.
Half a day, I'm Clara Calvo bringing you your weekly renewal. If there's anything we have learned this past year, aside from the importance of our health and overall wellness, it is a deeper appreciation for the outdoors and just being out in nature. And today I have the executive director of the Learn Chamorro project, who is here to share with us some exciting things going on. Welcome, Troy Chrysostomo Uggan.
Thank you, Claire, for allowing us this opportunity to promote our latest project here at the Tagaching Beach for the Learn Chamorro project in collaboration with Heart Guam Pet Rescue and the Mayor's Office in Zonia, Mr. Mayor Bill Uggan Kenga. The inspiration of adopting the beach came one day by accident or divine appointment. I came down one day just to visit the beach because I haven't been here in a while, and I was heartbroken because the grass was overgrown, the trees was overgrown, trash, graffiti. It was a total disaster. I was so disappointed and heartbroken. So I immediately took it upon myself to have our organization, Learn Chamorro Project, take ownership again and adopt it for a year. So we're committed. What we're doing is every first Saturday of the month, we are come down and we're going to clean up as much as we can, cut the grass, pick up the trash, erase the graffiti. And we are very much inviting and encouraging the residents here in Zonia to help us maintain and take ownership of the place. We are very excited because not only did it allow us to help clean up the beach for the community, but it also serves as our ground zero, our headquarters, for all of our fundraising activities. So we're definitely blessed to have started in the right direction of helping to maintain and clean it for the community. But we had the idea to also have this place be our main location for our fundraising activities. That will be including health and fitness activities, 5Ks, trail runs, endurance challenges,